You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. I'm Nicholas Callis. Comerica Park hosting tonight's game between the Houston Astros and the Detroit Tigers. There's Jordan Zimmerman walking out there, getting ready to start on the mound for the Tigers. And there are Jordan Zimmerman's numbers. He has 25 starts this year. He's making his 26th of the season. 9-12 record, respectable. 3.47 ERA, also pretty respectable. And he's pitched 142 2/3 innings. He's one of the veterans on this Tigers team. One of the pitchers helping keep this team afloat. It's been much struggling for the Tigers this season as George Springer steps up to the plate. 283 hitter entering play, and Zimmerman ready to throw the first pitch of the ball game. It's a strike, counts 0-1. Mentioning the Tigers' struggles, they're 59-71, fourth in the American League Central. Above the Kansas City Royals, who have already been mathematically eliminated from winning the division. And the Royals also have the worst record in Major League Baseball, 45-85. Grounded to first, bobbled a bit by Crone, but he recovers, steps on first base, and that's out number one. George Springer out at first base. And with that out, we'll take a look at the starting lineup for the Astros. You see batting fifth, the first baseman Josh Bell was a trade acquisition before the deadline. He was acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates in exchange for Forrest Whitley, among Chucky Robinson as well, who is a catching prospect. So Pirates got two prospects, and the Astros got an established power hitting first baseman. That one fouled off, the count 0-1. So Yuli Gurriel's on the bench now for the Astros. Not that he was performing poorly, just not as well as Bell was, and the Astros still making a run at the American League West. That's inside, count is even at 1-1. The Astros are 72-58 entering play. They're 4 games back of the Athletics for first place in the American League West, and they're a game out of the second wild card spot. Grounded to third. Played by Candelario, he throws to Crone. Altuve out at first, that's out number 2.
Batting third, the left fielder, number 23.
So Michael Brantley's going to come to the plate with 2 outs and the bases empty. 6th in the AL in batting average with a .317. Also producing well at the plate, 24 home runs and 79 RBIs. But the Astros a game out of the second wild card spot, right now occupied by the White Sox. The Indians, over the past week, have gone on an 11-game winning streak. That's pushed them into second in the AL Central. But also they have the first wild card spot now. They're above the White Sox. So 2 American League Central teams right now qualifying for the wild card spot, and a few others still in contention. The Blue Jays, the Astros, and the Rays. No ball, 2-strike count. Ground ball right side, another chance for Crone. He steps on first base himself, and the top of the first inning is over. The Astros get no runs on no hits and leave nobody on base after a half inning of play. It's the Astros 0 and the Tigers coming to bat. Starting on the mound for the Astros is Justin Verlander. He's played for 2 teams in his Major League career. The Astros, one of them, but he got his start with the Tigers, the team he's pitching against in this game. He's making his 17th start of the season, and he has a .375 ERA and 98 1/3 innings pitched. Still a strong veteran pitcher, one of the best in the game. And he'll start this game. He'll start his time on the mound facing Victor Reyes, the leadoff hitter for the Tigers. Reyes, the switch hitter, batting from the left side of the plate. Here's Verlander's first. It's high, but called a strike, counts 0-1. So as we mentioned before, the Astros 72-58 overall. They're 4 games back of the AL West. They're behind the Athletics, and they're a game back in the wild card spot, trailing the Blue Jays and the White Sox. That's down low, counts 1-1. Now, the Tigers have been struggling this year, and they haven't been mathematically eliminated from playoffs this year, but they have a division elimination number of 5. And they're 14 games back of the second wild card spot. They have a playoff elimination number of 19. So they're not mathematically done yet this season, but their odds becoming more and more unlikely with every game. Swing and a miss. Victor Reyes down on strikes. Justin Verlander starts his game out with a strikeout.
Batting second.
Well, just watch this swing. He reached out. That looked like an off-speed pitch. It was out of the zone over the outside part of the plate, and Reyes took the bait. So he's down on strikes. 1 out, bottom of the first, and here is Harold Castro. One of the bright spots for this team, batting .294 entering play, and he pops that first pitch up. That will reach the seats. The Tigers still plugging pieces, still putting pieces of the puzzle in different places, trying to figure out what works best, but they haven't had much production from many players at all this season. Cameron Maben, who was signed in the offseason to try to provide some veteran support, he just did not help at all. His run-producing numbers were down, and his average was below 200. So once Jacoby Jones got activated from the injured list a few days ago, Maben was designated for assignment, most likely to be released in the coming days. 3-ball, 1-strike count. Miguel Cabrera on deck. That's outside. That's ball 4, and Harold Castro will go down to first base. So 1 out, 1 on, bottom of the first, and here comes the most recent Triple Crown Award winner in Major League Baseball, Miguel Cabrera. He's batting .341 with 22 home runs and 80 RBIs entering play today, and his average is good for the best in the American League. Miguel Cabrera has played for a couple teams in his Major League career. He was also a World Series champion with the Florida Marlins. He was back in 2003. He's been playing for the Tigers ever since 2006. He's won a Triple Crown Award. He made it back to the Fall Classic with the Tigers in 2012, though they lost to the Giants in 4 games. But this is one of the most talented hitters to ever grace the game of Major League Baseball. No ball, 2-strike count. Strike 3 called over the inside edge. Justin Verlander strikes out his former teammate. Verlander with 2 strikeouts now, and that's out number 2. Going to bring up the cleanup hitter and first baseman C.J. Crone, who was signed by the Tigers this past offseason. Crone's played for the Angels, the Rays, and the Twins as he grounds that one to first. Played by Bell in fair territory. Steps on first base himself, and the first inning has come to a conclusion. No runs on no hits, 1 walk in the inning for the Tigers, and 1 runner left on base after 1 full inning of play. It's the Astros 0 and the Tigers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 4-5-6 hitters due up for the Astros this half inning. Alex Bregman, Josh Bell, and Yordan Alvarez. Bregman batting .301 entering play. He also has 21 long balls. Still in his younger years, starting this game at third base. He takes ball 1. Bregman lifetime versus Zimmerman, 1 for 11 with a strikeout. Just hasn't had much success off of him in their meetings. 1 ball, no strike count. Line drive toward left field, and it's caught out there by Victor Reyes. That's out number 1, and with that, we'll look at the starting defense for the Tigers. Victor Reyes out in left, Nico Goodrum playing center, Jorge Bonifacio in right, Jeimer Candelario playing third, Harold Castro at short, Jonathan Schoop at second, C.J. Crone playing first, and doing the catching is Austin Romine. So 1 out, top of the second, base is empty. Here is Josh Bell, swings at the first pitch and pops it into the air. Jonathan Schoop calls for it, and he makes the catch. So Josh Bell down on 1 pitch. That's out number 2 here in the top of the second.
Batting 5th, the designated hitter, Yordan.
So 2 outs, top of the second, and here comes Yordan Alvarez, who was the Rookie of the Year last season. And he's already put up better numbers than last year. .310 average, 28 home runs, and 89 RBIs entering play. One of the best young hitters in baseball.
Count 1-0.
Hit for more power last year, though he had a decent average, but this season his average is up there and his production numbers are as good as ever, as good as they can be. One of those called a strike counts, even 1-1. Even count on the Astros designated hitter. Swings and fouls that pitch off. Zimmerman left that up in the zone, but Alvarez couldn't square it up. So he's behind at the count now. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Strike 3 called over the inside edge. Jordan Zimmerman rings up Yordan Alvarez, and that ends the top of the second. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on base for the Astros after 1.5 innings. It's the Astros 0 and the Tigers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Tigers in this half inning. Jorge Bonifacio, Jonathan Schoop, and Jeimer Candelario. Jorge Bonifacio, a veteran right fielder. Started this season in the minor leagues, but got caught up after a few injuries to some Tigers players. And he's been one of the brighter spots for this Tigers team since being called up. Entering play, he has a .290 average.
1 ball, 2 strikes.
With some decent power numbers as well. 6 home runs and 31 RBIs. He's slugging .470. Swing and a miss. Verlander got him to chase the outside off-speed pitch. Verlander with 3 strikeouts already. That's out number 1.
Batting 5th, the second baseman.
It's another well-placed pitch. Verlander already got another hitter to swing and miss at a pitch like that, an outside off-speed pitch. Bonifacio just another victim early in this game. Here comes Jonathan Schoop, 1 out. Base is empty. Schoop fouls that first pitch off. Counts 0-1. Schoop doing well in terms of production. 20 home runs and 64 RBIs. His average is less than desired, though. It's a .211 entering play. And he's slugging at even .400. That fouled off, the count 0-2 now on Schoop. Jonathan Schoop has formerly played for the Baltimore Orioles, the Milwaukee Brewers, and the Minnesota Twins. Both Schoop and C.J. Crone were a part of the Twins in 2019, and they both signed with the Tigers this past offseason. That's strike 3. Justin Verlander now has 4 strikeouts as Junito completes it by throwing the bell. So 2 outs, bottom of the second. Here's Jeimer Candelario. Batting .226 entering play. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side, and he's manning the hot corner for the Tigers in this game. See the infield shifted there. Bregman around the shortstop position, and Altuve in shallow right field. 1 ball, no strike count. Swing and a miss. Counts 1-1.
1-1.
Jeimer Candelario started his career with the Chicago Cubs, played there 1 year, was traded to the Tigers, and he's been here ever since. Two ball, 1 strike count. 3-1's the count. Verlander walked the batter last inning. He had 4 strikeouts already, though. Struck out 2 in the first, and his first 2 outs of this inning have been strikeouts. 3 ball, 1 strike count. Swing and a miss. Power fastball 95 from Verlander. Counts full 3-2. Verlander still knows how to work his stuff, and he's got a high velocity to go along with it. That last pitch, 95 miles per hour. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Another 95 mile per hour one. Verlander with 5 strikeouts already, and that strikeout ends the second inning. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on base for the Tigers in that half inning. We've played 2 full here at Comerica Park. It's 2-0. It's no score after 2 full innings. Ignore those 3 gentlemen on the screen. My name is Nicholas Callis. You are watching Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games are brought to you by MLB The Show 20. Bottom of the order, do it for the Astros in this half inning. Carlos Correa, Mike Sunino, and Josh Reddick. Jordan Zimmerman still on the mound, and entering this third inning, he's at 15 pitches. He's been working efficiently and he's been getting quick outs. Counts 1-0 on Correa, a former first-round draft pick of the Astros. He was drafted back in 2012. That's upstairs, counts 2-0. Correa, one of many first-round draft picks that are currently on the Astros. Alex Bregman was another one. That's upstairs, counts 3-0. The Astros still a very talented team. Team that's not a division leader anymore, at least at this moment, but a team that's contending for playoffs still. Let's call it a strike, counts 3-1. But a team that also still has controversy surrounding it. The Astros were found guilty by League Commissioner Rob Manfred of stealing signs using the video replay room back in 2017 when they won the World Series. Players still defending themselves, saying that they're still a talented bunch. But there are many outspoken on social media and other internet websites that disagree and are upset. So nobody out top of the third. Carlos Correa just walked, and now here's Mike Zunino batting eighth and doing the catching for this Astros team. That's down low, counts 1-0, just missed. Zimmerman wanted that call. It was a well-placed breaking ball, just not called a strike. Mike Junito has formerly played for the Seattle Mariners. He was a former first-round draft pick as well, but formerly a Mariner, also played for the Rays for a couple seasons, but at the beginning of this year, he got traded to the Astros. Martin Maldonado still on the Astros team for his defensive prowess, but Zunino was brought in to be more of a starting catcher and provide a big bat in the order, and maybe right on cue, he sends that one out to left field. That ball stays fair. There is the big bat of Mike Zunino. 2-run home run. Here in the third inning, it's 2-0 Astros. Jordan Zimmerman set down 6 straight in the first 2 innings. Let up his first base runner on a walk in Carlos Correa, and following the walk, Zunino launches a 2-run home run. Watch that. Look at that jump off the bat. Well-struck ball. It was just a matter of fair or foul. And it did indeed stay fair. So still nobody out. Top of the third base is now empty. And here's Josh Reddick. 232 hitter with 2 home runs and 9 RBIs entering play as a combined 609 OPS. Josh Reddick, a former Boston Red Sox and Oakland Athletic. He's had a few stints with the Astros, but he was under contract consistently by the time they won the World Series. He did win the World Series with them in 2017. And he was part of the team that made it to the World Series in 2019. Cope makes the play, throws to Crone, Reddick out at first, 1 out top of the third. And we'll take a look at the American League Central standings. We already went over them, talked about them, but here's a visual of where the Tigers are in comparison to other teams. Again, above the Royals by a significant margin. The Royals have the worst record in Major League Baseball, but the Twins are the first place team in the division. The Twins have the second best record in Major League Baseball at 87-45. So it's quite a rarity to have one of the best teams and the worst team in the same division, but that's just how this season has been laid out. No ball, 1 strike count on Springer, and misses, counts even 1-1. The Twins did have the best record in Major League Baseball up until yesterday when they lost again to these very same Tigers. And then the Dodgers ended up winning to extend their winning streak. So the Dodgers are 88-45, the Twins 87-45. So the Twins have the second best record in baseball by a half game. That's out to center. That was struck well by Springer, but Goodrum able to run it down. So Springer's out after a long fly ball. 2 outs now, top of the third, and Jose Altuve will come to the plate. Altuve grounded out back in inning number 1. Now a 287 hitter, still hits for contact well as he fouls that one off. He's been a run producer in more recent seasons as well, hitting upwards of 31 homers. It's inside, counts 1-1. His MVP season, he hit 26. That was back in 2017. 1 ball, 1 strike count. That's upstairs, but called a strike. 1 ball, 2 strike count now on Jose Altuve, the second baseman of the Astros. Swing and a miss. Jose Altuve down on strikes. That ends the top of the third. But Mike Zunino, with this home run, he gave the Astros a 2-0 lead, and it is 2-0 going into the bottom of the third. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 8-9-1 hitters due up for the Tigers in this half inning. Nico Goodrum, Austin Romine, and then back to the top for Victor Reyes. Goodrum, a .219 hitter with 7 home runs and 24 RBIs entering play. Goodrum started the year playing shortstop. Hasn't had much success at the plate. He was also toward the top of the order entering the season. Now he's batting more toward the bottom of the order just because he hasn't been hitting too well. And he was the starting shortstop on opening day. He's since moved back to the outfield. The Tigers wanted to give a chance. Wanted to give Harold Castro a chance to start in the middle infield. So Castro, the shortstop. Goodrum back out in center. And Reyes moved from center to left. It's called a strike counts 1 and 2. I'd also like to correct a statement I made. Jose Altuve, in his MVP season in 2017, hit 24 home runs, not 26. I said that last half inning, so my apologies. But he did hit 31 in 2019, which is rather impressive for a 5'6" player. That pitch is fouled off, the count 2-2 still. Two ball, 2 strike count. Swinging a foul ball. Verlander throwing in the mid-90s consistently. That last pitch was 96 miles per hour. Inside, count full 3-2. Austin Romine's on deck. Romine made the All-Star game this season. Swing and a miss. Justin Verlander just blew that fastball right by Goodrum. Verlander now has 6 strikeouts through 2 1/3 innings. 1 strikeout, 2 strikeout. These are his last 4 strikeouts. That last one was Scope. There's Candelario. Struck out ending the second, and there's Goodrum striking out there. So 4 straight strikeouts for Verlander, 6 total. And here comes Austin Romine. As we mentioned before, he hit a home run, or excuse me, he was an All-Star this season, and in the All-Star game, he hit a home run.
1-0.
Came off the bench, went deep, put the American League All-Stars on the board. The AL All-Stars ended up losing that game to the NL All-Stars, but Romine got his chance in the spotlight. This was Romine's first All-Star nomination. He'd formerly been a backup catcher for the New York Yankees from 2014 to 2019. He just signed with the Tigers this past offseason. He's been a consistent starter, and he was named an All-Star. Romine didn't get too much starting time in New York because around the time he came up, Brian McCann was signed to play for the Yankees. And then around the end of McCann's tenure with the Yankees, Gary Sanchez was up and coming. So it's been unfortunate for Romine, who is a talented catcher, especially defensively. And now he's getting a chance to be an everyday starter on a new team. That swung on and hit well out toward right field. Playable for Josh Reddick. He does make the catch. And now there are 2 outs in the bottom of the third.
The left fielder, number 22, Victor.
So with 2 outs and the bases empty, Victor Reyes will come back up to the plate. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Reyes struck out back in the first inning. The first of 6 Verlander strikeouts in this game so far. That's down low, counts 1-0. Reyes, 1 hit in 10 at-bats lifetime against Verlander. He struck out 6 times. Swing and a miss, counts even 1-1. And that total does count the strikeout from today. Fouled off, the count now 1-2. Justin Verlander a strike away from completing 3 scoreless innings. Strike 3, called, well-placed pitch, and Verlander has 7 strikeouts through 3 full innings on the mound. No runs, no hits, nobody left on for the Tigers. After 3 full innings, it's the Astros 2 and the Tigers 0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 3-4-5 hitters due up for the Astros in this half inning. Michael Brantley, Alex Bregman, and Josh Bell. Jordan Zimmerman pitched 2 scoreless innings to start the game, but walked Carlos Correa last inning and then gave up a 2-run home run to Mike Sunino. So Zimmerman now pitching with his team down. Swinging a foul ball, the count 0-2 on Michael Brantley. Former Cleveland Indian, signed with the Astros before the 2019 season began. And he was a big reason the Astros made it to the World Series in 2019. He was an instrumental player. Good defensively, but especially good with his bat. As inside counts 2-2. Brantley was known well in Cleveland for how well he made contact with the ball and got on base, but with the Astros, he applied an extra dose of power in his offensive game, something that certainly the Astros appreciate. Jordan Zimmerman makes that play himself. That's out number 1. And here's a Road to the Show report from the Tigers system. Hyo-jin Park, over his last 10 games, has 3 home runs and 10 RBIs, which is pretty good. Mudhens 72 and 54. The Tigers AA affiliate 63 and 62. So both of the minor league affiliates of the Tigers have a winning percentage over 500 as of right now. The Tigers rather far below that amount. The Tigers entering play 59 and 71, 4th in the AL Central, and 14 games back on the wild card spot. Counts even 1-1. The Twins struggling recently has helped the Tigers stay in the division race, at least mathematically. The Tigers have a division elimination number of 5, and the Twins delaying the inevitable. The Twins have lost 6 of their last 10 games, and they lost 3 to the Tigers. That series just ended over the weekend. That's popped up, caught by Castro at short. That's out number 2, Alex Bregman. 0 for 2 now after getting out in that at bat.
The first baseman, number 55, Josh Bell.
So Josh Bell comes to the plate, 2 outs, bases empty. Top of the 4th. Bell, a switch hitter batting from the left side. 28 home runs and 76 RBIs as of right now. Bell started the year with the Pirates. And grounds that one to shortstop. Harold Castro throws to C.J. Crone. Bell out at first base. Both times he's gotten out, it's been on 1 pitch. That out ends the top of the 4th. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Astros. After 3.5 innings, it's 2-0. The Astros lead the Tigers. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 2-3-4 hitters due up for the Tigers in this half inning. Harold Castro, Miguel Cabrera, and C.J. Crone. Now, what I wanted to mention about the Tigers was the fact that they swept the Twins in a 3-game series over the weekend. As that ball's belted out toward right field, there's Josh Reddick. He makes the catch. So a quick out to start the bottom of the 4th. The Tigers, as of right now, are on a 4-game winning streak. And again, they just swept the Twins, who have the 2nd best record in Major League Baseball, the best record in the American League. And this is game 1 of a 4-game series against the Astros that will last from today until Thursday. But the Tigers doing well recently. Their division elimination number is 5, but they've delayed the inevitable by sweeping their division leading opponent. Just a bit low, counts 1-2. Verlander enters this inning with 7 strikeouts. And look at those splits. 31 strikes out of 50 total pitches he's thrown now. working quickly and getting many swings and misses. That's fouled off. The count still 1-2 on Cabrera. While the Tigers are 14 games back of an American League wildcard spot, the Astros are a game back with their 72-58 record, and they're still in the division race as well. They're keeping the Athletics honest. They're hanging around 4 games back of the AL West lead. That's what the Astros are. So the Tigers at this point in the season, again, they're not likely to make playoffs this year, so coming into September, they'll be playing spoilers to any team that might be contending for playoffs, and the Astros fighting for a wild card spot, and they might potentially win the division as well if they can get hot enough, and if the Athletics become cold. 3-ball, 2-strike count. Ground ball right side, Josh Bell plays, flips to Verlander covering, who flips back to Bell. What a unique play there. That was really interesting. I've never seen anything like that. Bell flipped to Verlander. That Verlander covered, but then Verlander saw Bell breaking for the bag, so Verlander flipped it back to Bell. So score that a 3-1-3 putout. 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Here's C.J. Crone. He's 0 for 1. He grounded out in the first inning. So the Astros in the AL West, they've won the division over the last 3 seasons. So if they could win the division this year, they'd make it 4 straight. The Athletics haven't won the AL West since 2013. As you see, they shifted infield there. The Tigers haven't won the AL Central since 2014. Not like they have a chance to win it this year, but and technically they do. They're not mathematically eliminated from winning the division yet, so I can't say they won't this year. It's just, again, it's just not likely. Crone quickly down to the count. No balls, 2 strikes. Just a bit low. Well placed by Verlander, but Crone exercising good discipline. 1 ball, 2-strike count. Swing, and that's belted toward the right side. That's a fair ball. The shift does not help the Astros there. Reddick plays it. Crone gets into second base. And Justin Verlander will not throw a no-hitter this game. That's the first hit for the Tigers. 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Crone went with that pitch well, and he hit it barely where it stayed fair. Well placed. The shift doesn't help the Astros there. It helps the Tigers. Now a runner in scoring position with 2 outs. And Jorge Bonifacio is at the plate. He takes ball 1 down low. Bonifacio, one of 7 strikeout victims to Verlander in this game. And though it's still early, Bonifacio right now represents the tying run for the Tigers. 1 ball, no strike count. That's called a strike count. It's even 1-1. Bonifacio was acquired in free agency this past offseason, and as I mentioned a bit ago, he started the year in free agency, got called up when Jacoby Jones was placed on the injured list, and since he's been in the starting lineup, he's been doing well. So the Tigers have kept him there. So speaking of Tigers outfielders, Cameron Maben, who signed a 1-year deal this past offseason, was just designated for assignment once Jacoby Jones got activated from the injured list. Maben was batting under 100. And that was with over 200 at-bats. He was just struggling this year with the Tigers, and it's a shame for the Tigers because Maben did produce when he was on the Yankees last season, but could not produce in Detroit. Full count on Bonifacio. And he fouls that pitch off. Verlander at 96 miles per hour on that last pitch. Count still full 3-2. And Jonathan Scope would bat next if Bonifacio can reach. Full count pitch. That's belted out toward left field. That's hugging the line. Back goes Brantley. And he can't make the catch, but that ball landed foul. So Tigers fans will have to sit back down for a moment. Another pitch is coming in this plate appearance. That ball's foul. The count's still full 3-2. Bonifacio putting together a quality plate appearance here. And Verlander thrown 23 pitches in this half inning. The most he's thrown in a single inning so far. That's grounded to short. Fumbled by Correa at shortstop. Bonifacio still running, and he beats out the throw. Carlos Correa hit with an error, and that error extends the inning. I mean, a sharp ground ball, but certainly a routine play. Correa tried to come up a bit too early. So 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. Now runners on the corners, and Jonathan Schoop comes to the plate. Schoop struck out in his last at bat. So every run that's scored now on Verlander, every potential run, I should say, will not be an earned run. The way that earned run average is calculated is every run, if you completed the inning and that out was recorded, the out that, or the error that should have recorded an out, if you reconstruct the inning, every run that scores would not count. And if you reconstructed this inning, that would have been the 3rd out of the inning. So Verlander won't be charged with any more earned runs should any more come around to score. Scope down on the count. That pitch misses outside. Counts 1-2. C.J. Crone got the first hit for the Tigers in this game. He doubled with 2 outs, and Bonifacio just reached on an error by Correa at shortstop. That's how runners are now at the corners. Check swing, appeal. No swing, according to the home plate umpire. According to the first base umpire. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. 2 ball, 2 strike count, 2 outs, and 2 on. Swing and a miss. Justin Verlander has struck out 8 batters now through 4 innings. And he works out of a tiny jam here. So the Tigers do get their first hit of the game, but they score no runs on that 1 hit. There was 1 error in the inning and 2 runners left on base. After 4 full innings, the Astros lead the Tigers 2-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Astros in this half inning. Yordan Alvarez, Carlos Correa, and Mike Zunino. Alvarez 0 for 1 against Zimmerman. Zimmerman now pitching in his 5th inning. He's still pitching efficiently. Under 50 pitches coming into this 5th inning. See the infield shifted there, exaggerated to the right. Zimmerman gave up 2 runs in the 3rd inning. He gave up a 2-run home run to Mike Zunino. The Astros have scored 2 runs on 1 hit, and Zunino's home run was the 1 hit. Carlos Correa, who scored on the home run, reached on a walk. 2-1 count. Ripped to right. Diving attempt, but Bonifacio could not make the play, and Alvarez will have extra bases. And that's not good news for the Tigers. Jorge Bonifacio looks like he's favoring his back a bit. He's going to get taken out of the game. Bonifacio, one of the more productive hitters for the Tigers this season. And he's getting off under his own power, so doesn't seem like anything too serious, at least we hope. But right now he'll be removed from the game with what we can observe as a back injury.
Ladies and gentlemen, your attention please.
So Jacoby Jones comes into the game. He'll play right field. Jones was just activated from the injured list a couple days ago. He had been on the injured list since late May, early June. There's Carlos Correa. He walked in his first plate appearance and came around to score on the Mike Zunino home run. The only 2 runs that the Astros have scored to this point. Yordan Alvarez now on second base. He's in scoring position with nobody out. It's outside, counts 1-1. But Alvarez, despite being shifted, he hit the ball right into the corner. Like, it was as close to the corner as it possibly could have been. And Bonifacio made a great effort to try to dive for that ball and make a catch, but he dove, missed it, got it in, and then kind of went down clutching his back. That's why he got taken out of the game. Bonifacio just got taken out of the game trying to dive for that Yordan Alvarez double. So Jacoby Jones now in right field. Alvarez still on second. And Correa down to the count. 1 ball, 2 strike count. That's popped into the air. Austin Romine Gauging it. And Romine makes the catch, so that's out number 1. Correa unable to do anything productive in that at bat. Alvarez remains on second, 1 out, top of the 5th. And that'll bring up the number 8 hitter in the order for the Astros, Mike Sunino, who has the only 2 RBIs from either side to this point in the game. He hit a 2-run home run back in the 3rd inning. That's fouled off, the count 0-1. A dangerous location from Jordan Zimmerman there. That pitch missed right over the middle of the plate. But Sunino couldn't handle it, so he's down to the count early. No balls, 1 strike. Swing and a miss, well-placed breaking ball. Now the count 0-2. Jordan Zimmerman now over 50 pitches with 1 out in the top of the 5th. Just a bit outside. Count is 1-2. But a couple calls that Zimmerman hasn't appreciated. There's another close pitch, but Junito's discipline is what pays off there. 1-2 count. That one a bit further outside. That evens the count. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Swinging a pop-up on the infield. C.J. Crone under it. He makes the catch. Mike Zunino's out. And Alvarez remains on second. 2 outs, top of the 5th. And with that, the bottom of the order will come up for the Astros. Josh Reddick. He's 0 for 1 in this game, and he'll bat with 2 outs on the top of the 5th and a runner in scoring position. First pitch grounded to third base. Candelario throws to Crone, and Reddick's out at first, so the top of the 5th inning is over. So despite the Yordan Alvarez leadoff double, the Astros fail to score in that half of the 5th. Going to the bottom of the 5th, it's 2-0. The Astros still lead the Tigers. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. This is game 1 of a 4-game series between these two teams, and right now the Astros are leading game 1 2-0. Justin Verlander on the mound throwing well. He gave up his first hit of the game last inning, but he comes into this bottom of the 5th inning with 8 strikeouts. 7, 8, 9 hitters due up for the Tigers in this half inning. Jeimer Candelario, Nico Goodrum, and Austin Romine. Candelario, a switch hitter, batting from the left side of the plate. Candelario, one of the strikeout victims to Verlander in this game. 226 hitter with 15 home runs and 49 RBIs coming into this at bat, or this plate appearance, I should say. Just a bit low, counts 1-0. Candelario career versus Verlander, just 1 hit, and he's struck out a few times. That pitch fouled off, the count even 1-1. Both Verlander and Zimmerman had efficient pitch counts through 3 innings, but both of them have gotten roughed up a bit in the last couple innings, so those pitch counts have gone up a bit. Counts even 2-2. Verlander last inning got into some trouble. Gave up a double to C.J. Crone, and then Bonifacio reached on an error, so there's a bit of danger. Runners on the corners and 2 outs, but Verlander got out of the inning unscathed. No runs put on the board by the Tigers. 2-ball, 2-strike count. In the dirt. That was a bait breaking ball that Candelario didn't take. So now the count's full 3-2. There's Verlander's pitch. Swing and a miss. 95 miles per hour over the outside edge. Candelario could not catch up to it, and Verlander now has 9 strikeouts in this game. Verlander pitching well against his former team. Looks like he's got his good stuff on today as that pitch is fouled off. The count's 0-1. It's Nico Goodrum at the plate playing center field in this game. He, like so many others, has struck out against Verlander in this game. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. Ground ball into the shift. Altuve can't come up with it cleanly, and Goodrum will reach first base. You saw Correa kind of dive for that one as well. Might have been an easier play for Correa because the way he was moving was his momentum was going toward first base. But Correa couldn't make the play. Altuve tried to backhand it, but couldn't come up with it cleanly. So Goodrum on first base. That is scored a single. One out, bottom of the fifth. Here's Romine. He's 0 for 1. Pitch out, and Goodrum stays at first base. Counts 1-0. A couple of righties now warming up in the Astros bullpen. Brian Abreu and Brad Peacock. Well, Verlander has struck out 9. This game's still not out of reach for the Tigers. Runner goes. That pitch misses high. Throw from his knees. Got him! Mike Zunino throws out Nico Goodrum. Watch this again. He threw him out from his knees. Goodrum got a decent jump, and Zunino flagged that one down. That was a good pitch from Verlander. It wasn't a breaking ball. It was a fastball up. Zunino could handle it and made a solid throw without standing up. So Goodrum cut down. There are now 2 outs, and it's a 2-1 count on Austin Romine. Verlander reaching, or he's in reach of 90 pitches. Now he's at 87. Fouled off. Counts even 2-2. That's fouled off. Off-speed pitch from Verlander. Romine swung for it, and he got a piece of the bat on the ball, so the count remains even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Verlander's 90th pitch misses below the knees of Romine, so the count now full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the order due up next for the Tigers. Victor Reyes, the one in the on-deck circle, and Verlander asks for another ball in this situation. Still is dangerous for Verlander to let runners on base, because with a runner on, it could take one big swing, a home run, to tie this game up. Full count pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Austin Romine down on strikes. That's strikeout number 10 for Justin Verlander in this game through 5 full innings on the mound. The Tigers fail to score despite getting a single. And after 5 full innings of play, the Astros lead the Tigers 2-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. Top of the order due up for the Astros here in the 6th inning. George Springer, Jose Altuve, and Michael Brantley. Springer's 0 for 2 out of the leadoff spot for the Astros. Jordan Zimmerman still on the mound, still throwing efficiently, and hasn't given up an unmanageable amount of runs. He's given up 2 to this point. He gave up a 2-run home run to Mike Sunino in the 3rd inning, but that's been it. Just threw his 60th pitch of the game there, and he's entering his 6th inning on the mound. So it's an efficient pitch count. He's been working quickly, and he's been getting outs. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. George Springer strikes out to begin the 6th inning. It's Zimmerman's 3rd.
Now back, second base, Jose Altuve.
That was an off-speed pitch that dipped below the zone. Might have been a strike, too. It was close, so Springer wise to swing at it, just couldn't hit it. There's Jose Altuve, who struck out and grounded out in this game. No bat with 1 out, and the base is empty in the top of the 6th. Altuve has splits that are lower than he's had in years past. The Astros still trusting him to bat toward the top of the order. Altuve went 0 for 5 in the Astros last game, and he struck out. The Astros played the Rangers in a 3-game series most recently. They won 2 of 3, and in that last game that the graphic referenced, the Astros beat the Rangers 7-3. Take a look at the pitch count now from Jordan Zimmerman. You see there were a few innings where he had a pitch count in a single digit. That's belted toward left field. Back goes Reyes. He dives, can't make the play. That ball stays in the park. Altuve reaches second base as that ball is cut off by Harold Castro. It's a one-out double for Altuve. His first hit of the game. He's now 1 for 3. Great effort by Reyes out in left field, but just got past his outstretched glove. Well struck by Altuve. Barely missed a homer. But he had half a homer. He got a double, a 2-base hit. There's Michael Brantley, who's grounded out a couple times in this game, and he takes strike 1 there. Brantley splits pretty high, 315 average, 392 on base percentage. He's been consistently batting third in the order this season as he takes ball 1. John Schreiber, the one on the right. Gregory Soto, the one on the left. Those two throwing in the Tigers bullpen right now. On 1 pitch. That's belted to right field. Michael Brantley has just doubled the Astros lead. That's way out of here. 425 feet out to right field. That's Brantley's 25th of the season. It's 4-0 Astros. Watch where this pitch landed. That was up in the zone. Brantley handled it. This is more of a pitcher's ballpark because of how deep the wall is in all of left center and right field, and Brantley sent that ball way over the right field wall. Here comes Ron Gardenhire. Jordan Zimmerman done. He pitched into the 6th inning, but gave up 4 earned runs and is in line for the loss. It's time for the Tigers bullpen to try and mop this game up. Here's Yvonne Nova, who wasn't throwing with John Schreiber and Gregory Soto, but Nova comes into the game making his 39th appearance of the season. He's made a few starts this year, but overall has an ERA of 4.27 in 141 and a third innings pitched. First batter he'll face is Alex Bregman, who's 0 for 2. Takes strike 1. So the Astros have hit 2 two-run home runs in this game, one from Mike Sunino and one from Michael Brantley, totaling their 4 runs. Right now they're leading this game 4-0. Jammed him, that's fouled off, the count 0-2. So Yvonne Nova the one at the plate. Yvonne Nova the one on the mound. Nova started this year in the rotation, but with Michael Fulmer coming back off the injured list, Ron Gardenhire moved Nova to the bullpen, where he's been in more of a long relief role. 1 ball, 2 strike count. Swinging a grounder, that's fouled on the right side. The count's still 1-2. Nova throughout his career has pitched for the New York Yankees, the Pittsburgh Pirates, and the Chicago White Sox. He just signed with the Tigers this past offseason. That's out towards center field. That's going to fall for a base hit. The Astros starting to get into an offensive rhythm. Alex Bregman on base with his first hit of the game. Not a bad spot from Nova. Bregman just went down and squared that one up well. So he's on first, and here's Josh Bell. Switch hitter batting from the left side. Bell 0 for 2 in this game. Hanging breaking ball called a strike. Nova and Bell, former teammates with the Pirates. In Nova's first year with the Pirates, when he got traded from the Yankees to Pittsburgh, Josh Bell was making his major league debut. Josh Bell made his major league debut for the Pirates in 2016. Bell, before the trade deadline, got traded to the Astros for Forrest Whitley, who's one of the top starting pitching prospects in all of Major League Baseball, and for a catching prospect, Chucky Robinson. But Bell just adds to to an already productive Astros lineup. That ball's chopped toward the middle. Castro flips to scope for one. Over to Crone. That's a double play. The top of the 6th inning is over. But the Astros pad on to their lead. Michael Brantley hit this 2-run home run, making it a 4-0 game, going to the bottom of the 6th. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. The Tigers have been shut out so far by Justin Verlander. Their top of the order will come up to begin this bottom of the 6th inning. Victor Reyes, Harold Castro, and Miguel Cabrera. Victor Reyes has struck out 2 times. Verlander enters this half inning with 10 strikeouts in this game. Reyes has now struck out 7 times against Justin Verlander in his career. Inside, counts 2-0. Reyes in a hitter's count now. Just a bit low, counts 3-0 now with Harold Castro waiting on deck. Victor Reyes, a young outfielder on this Tigers team. And he walks to start the bottom of the 6th. So base runner is not as dangerous right now for the Astros. It was when the Astros were only leading by 2, but now that they're leading by 4, there's a bit more padding for Verlander, who still wasn't happy with some of those calls in that plate appearance. But he regains his composure, steps back on the mound. Reyes on first, nobody out. Here's Harold Castro, who's 0 for 1. Castro, in 2 plate appearances, walked once, got out the other. So he's 0 for 1 officially. That's outside, counts even 1-1. Swing, and that's a line drive, but well fouled on the right side. The count now 1-2. Verlander close to the century mark in pitch count. Right now he's at 98. Inside, count even 2-2. Brian Abreu and Brad Peacock were warming up for the Astros last inning, but no update on the activity of the Astros bullpen. Swinging a line drive, that's foul. That was Verlander's 100th pitch of the game. Counts still even 2-2. This is game 1 of a 4-game series between these 2 teams, starting today and lasting through Thursday. Strike 3 called, well-placed pitch from Justin Verlander, who has now struck out 11 batters.
Up next for the Tigers,
1 out.
the designated hitter, Miguel Cabrera.
So 1 out, bottom of the 6th. Then Miguel Cabrera will come to the plate. Verlander and Cabrera, former teammates. They both started with the Tigers around the same time. Verlander came up in the mid-2000s. That was right around the time Cabrera got traded from the Marlins to the Tigers. Pick off attempt. Runner back safely at first. These two were teammates for a while. And that ended when Verlander got traded to the Astros in 2017. That's grounded to first. Bell stops it, flips to Verlander. So an out recorded on the play. No double play, but an out nonetheless. Victor Reyes moves from first to second on the play. Now 2 outs, bottom of the 6th. And here comes C.J. Crone. Crone 1 for 2. He doubled in the 4th inning. He got the first hit for the Tigers in this game. The Tigers have 2 hits total. Strike counts 0-1. Not likely that Verlander will throw a complete game in this one, though he's struck out an impressive 11 batters. But maybe he'll go 1 more inning, but with his pitch count over 100 now, the load is becoming great. Grounded left side, played by Bregman. Throws to Bell, Crone out at first, and the 6th inning is over. So the Tigers get no runs on no hits. There was one walk in the inning and one runner left on base. After 6 full innings, the Astros lead the Tigers 4-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis. 6, 7, 8 hitters due up for the Astros in this half inning. Yordan Alvarez, Carlos Correa, and Mike Zunino. Alvarez 1 for 2.
That's a ball.
He hit a double
Ball one, no
in this game for his only hit. He's facing Yvonne Nova for the first time in this game. Nova came out of the bullpen to replace Jordan Zimmerman after Michael Brantley hit a 2-run home run off of him. So Nova got the final 2 outs of the 6th and is now pitching here in the 7th. That's a strike. Counts 1 and 2 now.
ball, 2 strikes.
Just a bit low. Good discipline from Alvarez. Count even 2 and 2. It's fouled off. The count still even 2 and 2. Another 2-2 pitch coming. Swing and a miss. Yordan Alvarez strikes out to begin the 7th inning. Nova now with 1 strikeout in this game. That'll bring up Carlos Correa. 1 out, bases empty. He's 0 for 1. He walked back in the 3rd inning and later scored on Mike Zunito's 2-run home run. That's down low, counts 1 and 0. This is game 1 of a 4-game series between these two teams. The Astros, who, if the season ended today, wouldn't make playoffs, but as it doesn't end today, they still have time to snag a wild card spot and potentially win the division. They're playing a Tigers team that likely won't make the playoffs this year.
Now batting.
Crone makes the catch. That's out number 2.
Mike.
2 outs, top of the 7th, and that'll bring up Mike Zunino, who's 1 for 2, and we'll flash you back to the 3rd inning. He started scoring from both sides after hitting this 2-run home run. He hit that off Jordan Zimmerman, one of 2 home runs that Jordan Zimmerman gave up in this game. He gave up another 2-run home run to Michael Brantley in the 6th inning, which totaled the Astros 4 runs to this point. And the Tigers have failed to score at all so far in this game. But 2 outs, bases empty for Junito, who lines it right to 3rd. Candelario makes the catch. And the top of the 7th inning is over. So no runs on no hits and nobody left on for the Astros in the top of the 7th. It's stretch time at Comerica Park. The Astros lead it, though, 4-0. You're watching Major League Baseball's virtual network, brought to you by MLB The Show 20. I'm Nicholas Callis.
Jacoby.
5, 6, 7 hitters due up for the Tigers in this half inning. Jacoby Jones,
Counts 1 and 0.
Jonathan Scope, and Imer Candelario. Austin Pruitt and Joe Biagini warming up now in the Astros bullpen. But Jacoby Jones in the game, getting his first plate appearance in here because he was an injury replacement for Jorge Bonifacio, who dove for a Yordan Alvarez line drive in right field and ended up hurting his back. So he got taken out of the game. Doesn't seem like an injury that's too serious, but he was taken out for more or less precautionary measures, and Jacoby Jones now the one playing in right field. Jones just got activated from the injured list a couple days ago, and he's the reason that Cameron Maben got designated for assignment, as Maben wasn't doing well. But Jones himself wasn't doing too well before he got put on the injured list, so he's been a bench player ever since he got removed from the injured list. That's into right field. That's a base hit for Jacoby Jones in his first at-bat of the game. Reddick plays it, throws it to Altuve, the cutoff man, but into second safely is Jacoby Jones, his 6th double of the season. Puts him in scoring position with nobody out here in the top of the 7th. Was a bit late on that fastball, but it stayed fair down that right field line, and Jones pretty quick hustles himself into a double. There's Dusty Baker coming out now, and he'll take the ball from Justin Verlander. Verlander pitched officially 6+ innings. Pitched into the 7th inning, struck out 11 batters, and give up no earned runs to this point. And he is in line for the win for the Astros. Brian Abreu will take over, making his 53rd appearance of the season. It's a 5.87 ERA and 112 innings pitched this season. So Jacoby Jones still the responsibility of Verlander. Jones at second base. So the most runs that Verlander could be charged with is 1. But Verlander can't lose this game, and at this point he's in line for the win. Jonathan Schoop at the plate. Schoop 0 for 2. Ground ball left side. Correa plays. Quickly throws to Bell. That's out number 1. So on 2 pitches, Brian Abreu gets an out. 1 out, bottom of the 7th, and here comes Jeimer Candelario. Switch hitter batting from the left side. He's struck out twice in this game, and I'm sure he's one of many Tigers players happy that Justin Verlander is no longer in the game. Again, Verlander struck out 11 batters through 6+ innings. Jacoby Jones, the one on second base, he doubled off Verlander to lead off this inning, and that's what caused Verlander to get taken out of the game by Dusty Baker, the Astros manager. 2-0 the count. The Astros lead this one 4-0 in the bottom of the 7th. They got a 2-run home run from Mike Junito in the 3rd inning, and then another 2-run home run from Michael Brantley in the 5th. The Tigers have yet to score a run, but they got their leadoff runner in scoring position, so a good opportunity to put a run on the board here. That's belted toward right, but that will not stay fair. Count is now 2-1. Two ball, 1 strike count. The Tigers' third baseman at the plate. 3-1's the count. Niko Goodrum, pending an unorthodox double play, will bat next. That's hit well out towards center field. Jones is tagging at second. Springer makes the catch, and Jones just stays right on second. Springer with a plus arm out in center field gets that one in. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th.
Now batting, center fielder.
And Niko Goodrum will come to the plate. Goodrum hit an infield single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 2 officially. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side, and he'll bat in this situation. 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and Jones in scoring position. Jacoby Jones led off this inning with a double. That chased Justin Verlander from the game. But 2 outs have gone by. Swinging a foul ball, the count 1-1. This is game 1 of a 4-game series between these two teams. It'll be 4 straight games. The Tigers will play the Red Sox in a series to end the month of August, and the Astros, after this 4-game series, will play the White Sox. The Astros will continue to play AL Central opponents for a bit longer. Counts 1-2. Goodrum started the year at shortstop and has been moved again to the outfield, adjusting to the Tigers' needs. Tigers have not had a great season in terms of their record this year. Swinging a chopper toward the middle of the plate. Sunino gives up. Abreu plays it, throws to first, but it's not in time. Another infield single for Niko Goodrum. The other one was a sharp ground ball toward Altuve at second. This one was a little chopper that stayed in between the plate and the pitcher's mound. So 2 runners on, 2 outs, bottom of the 7th, and here is all-star catcher Austin Romine. He was 0 for 2 in this game. He struck out and flied out. Jacoby Jones on third and Niko Goodrum on first base. Justin Verlander is still responsible for Jacoby Jones on third. Jones hit a double off Verlander that chased him from the game. So Verlander can at most give up 1 earned run, but Brian Abreu, the one on the mound, who will determine whether Jones will score or not. 1-0 count. That's down low, counts 2-0.
No strike.
Astros leading this game 4-0. We're in the later third of this game. 2-ball, no strike count. Swing and a fly ball out toward right center. Springer can't make the play. Jacoby Jones scores from third. Romine trying to stretch it to a double. He's tagged out. Springer to Altuve, who relayed it to Correa at second. Romine's out at first, or excuse me, out at second. That ends the 7th inning, but Romine is credited with an RBI single. It's now a 3-run game going to the 8th inning. The Astros still lead.
Ladies and gentlemen,
New pitcher on the mound for the Tigers. John Schreiber comes in to replace Yvonne Nova, who pitched an inning and 2/3 and gave up no earned runs. Schreiber making his 45th appearance of the year. He has a 3.50 ERA and 43 2/3 innings pitched. 9-1-2 hitters do it for the Astros in this half inning. Josh Reddick, George Springer, and Jose Altuve.
Oh, that's low.
Counts 1-0 on Reddick, who has grounded out twice in this game so far. So Justin Verlander officially pitched 6+ innings. He struck out 11 batters, and he gave up 1 earned run. He was responsible for Jacoby Jones, who hit a double off him to start the 7th inning, and Jones did come around to score. So that run charged to Verlander. But he's still in line for the win. The Tigers still trail by 3. That's popped into the air. Jonathan Scope makes the catch. It's out number 1. Reddick now 0 for 3. And that was a low pitch. Surprising that he popped it up, but he did. Reddick out, 1 out, top of the 8th. There's George Springer, who's 0 for 3. The Tigers have used 3 pitchers now in this game. Jordan Zimmerman was the starter. Yvonne Nova came in onto the bullpen, and John Schreiber, the one on the mound now. Gregory Soto, the one on the left, and Brian Garcia, the one on the right. Double-barreled action in the bullpen. No ball, 1 strike count on the Astros center fielder. That's outside. Counts 1-1. The Astros still fighting for a playoff spot. They're in second in the American League West right now, 4 games back of the Oakland Athletics, who lead with a 76-54 record. The Astros also a game back of the White Sox, who have a 73-57 record. The White Sox have the second wild card spot now in the American League. That's out toward left field. Victor Reyes is under it. Reyes makes the catch. That's out number 2 in the top of the 8th inning.
now back, second base.
The Astros for the longest time were teetering between the first and second wild card spots with the White Sox, but the Indians over the past week went on an 11-game winning streak and not only passed the Astros, but passed the White Sox too. Right now the Indians have the first wild card spot. They have a 74-56 record. The White Sox a game back of the first wild card spot with a 73-57 record. The Blue Jays have a 73-59 record. They're a game back of that second wild card spot that the White Sox have, and the Astros also a game back with a 72-58 record. Altuve at the plate, batting with the bases empty and 2 outs. He's down to the count 0-1. Altuve doubled for his only hit in the game. He's 1 for 3 officially. He's facing John Schreiber for the first time in this game. One ball, 1 strike count. Top foul. Now the count 1-2. Schreiber ahead. Altuve, former most valuable player in the American League. He won it in 2017, the same year the Astros won the World Series. Swing and a miss. John Schreiber gets Altuve to strike out. And that ends the top of the 8th inning. So the Astros go down 1-2-3, but they still lead this game 4-1. The Tigers will bat in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher on the mound for the Astros. It's Joe Smith.
Number 38. Joe.
Veteran submarine right-handed pitcher making his 14th appearance of the year. He has a .84 ERA and 10 2/3 innings pitched. He hasn't been used much.
Leading up
But he's a good veteran to have in the bullpen, and Roberto Ozuna is now warming up, the Astros closer. At the moment, it would be a save situation. The Tigers still within 3. So Ozuna might get the opportunity to earn a save. The score remains the same throughout the next inning and a half. Swing and a fly ball toward left center field. George Springer's under it. He makes the catch. That's out number 1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Joe Smith, the third pitcher to take the mound for the Astros. Justin Verlander went 6+, struck out 11, gave up 1 earned run. Ryan Abreu pitched the 7th inning. No earned runs given up to him, but he did give up a couple hits. So now Smith pitching, 1 out, bottom of the 8th, bases empty. Harold Castro 0 for 2. He did walk earlier in the game, so he reached base once, but has no hits in 2 official at-bats. Here's the 1-0 count. The 1-0 pitch, I should say, but that's lined out to left, played by Brantley. And there are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now batting, the designated hitter.
The Astros have a 4-1 lead. They got a 2-run lead rather early. Mike Junito hit a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning, and then Michael Brantley hit a 2-run home run of his own in the 5th. The Tigers got their first run of the game last inning. It's 4-1, and that run was scored on an Austin Romine RBI single. Swing and a miss. No ball, 2-strike count on Cabrera, who's 0 for 3 out of the 3 spot in the Tigers' order in this game. Oh, 2 pitch. Swing and a miss. Joe Smith makes quick work of the Tigers in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Tigers still trail this one 4-1. Last inning of regulation coming up.
Your attention, please.
New pitcher on the mound now for the Tigers. It's Gregory Soto, the left-hander, making his 62nd appearance of the year. He's a 5.21 ERA and 65 2/3 innings pitched. It's unlikely, if the score holds up, that we'll see Joe Jimenez in this game. Joe Jimenez, the closer for the Tigers. He's been doing well. He's among the top 15 in saves, or he's in the top 15 for saves leaders in the American League. Been one of the brighter spots for the Tigers this season. Ground ball right side, played by Jonathan Scopey, throws to C.J. Crone. That's the first out of the 9th inning.
The batter, the third baseman, Alex Bregman.
Here comes Alex Bregman to the plate. Bregman has 1 hit and 3 official at-bats in this game. That's outside, counts 1-0. Bregman playing third base. Bregman naturally a shortstop, and it was interesting to watch him play the shortstop position last season when Carlos Correa was hurt. That just showed you what a talented defensive player Bregman is, and this game he's showing off his offensive skills. That's his 2nd hit of the game.
Now batting, the first baseman, Josh Bell.
Ball struck by Bregman up the middle. He's on first base with 1 out in the top of the 9th inning, and with that, number 5 hitter in the order, Josh Bell, will come to the plate. Bell's 0 for 3. He's grounded out in all 3 of his at-bats so far. He's a switch hitter. This time he's batting from the right side with the lefty Soto on the mound. Bell was a trade acquisition. He was acquired from the Pittsburgh Pirates before the trade deadline of this year. With the Astros still in contention to win the division, Bell provides an extra bat in the order to try to make that happen. Yuli Gurriel on the bench. Gurriel wasn't performing terribly, but definitely doesn't have the numbers that Bell has this year. The Astros still in contention for the division in the AL West. Right now they're a game back of the second wild card spot occupied by the White Sox. Three ball, one strike count. It's outside, ball four. Josh Bell reaches base.
The batter, number 40.
Hello, the Truth 123. Glad you could join us for this game tonight.
Alvarez.
I think I have the Nationals playing tomorrow as well. So that'll be a game that you can personally enjoy. There's Jordan Alvarez. He doubled for his only hit of the game so far, and he takes strike one there. So in the American League, the only division right now that seems to be locked up is the AL Central, with the Twins almost at 90 wins this year. But the Blue Jays still challenging the Yankees for first place in the AL East. And the Astros still within reach of the Athletics for first place in the AL West. Swing and a miss, counts 0-2. And yes, the Nationals, the Truth 123, the Nationals are playing the Mets tomorrow at 1:10 Eastern Time. That misses down low, counts 1-2. The Nationals are no longer in first place in the NL East. The Braves got on a hot streak in August and took the lead from the Nationals. Also coming up in tomorrow's lineup, the Athletics and Braves playing each other in an interleague matchup, 7:20 Eastern Time is the scheduled time for that game. And then an NL West matchup between the Padres and the Giants. That game scheduled to start at 9:20 Eastern Time. We're going to foul ball. The count still even 2-2. Two ball, two strike count on Alvarez, the designated hitter of the Astros. Just a bit low, counts full 3-2. Michael Brantley got out to start this ninth inning, but then Alex Bregman singled and Josh Bell walked. It's now a full count on Jordan Alvarez, Rookie of the Year last season in the American League. That misses low, and Soto has walked back-to-back batters. Now the Astros have the bases loaded with one out.
The batter, number 1.
Prime opportunity to score here, but also a double play could end the inning. Carlos Correa up to the plate now. He's 0 for 2. Reached base once on a walk, which was important because following his walk in the third inning, Mike Sunino hit a home run. Give the Astros an early lead, a lead that they have not relinquished. This is game one of a 4-game series. The Tigers at the moment are on a 4-game winning streak. They just swept the Minnesota Twins, who have the best record in the American League and are a division opponent of the Tigers. The Tigers swept them. They've accumulated a 4-game winning streak. And right now the Astros are in a position to break that streak. Grounded to third, Candelario to Scope to Crone. That's a double play. Out at second, Alvarez, and out at first, Correa. The top of the ninth inning has come to an end. So the Astros got the bases loaded with one out, but failed to score any runs. Last chance for the Tigers coming in the bottom of the ninth. They will trail this one 4-1.
Ladies and gentlemen,
and here is Roberto Ozuna,
now pitching for the
making his 52nd appearance of this season and has the opportunity to save his 38th game of the year. He has a 2.17 ERA. He's been one of the best closers in the American League this season,
for the Tigers, the first baseman,
complementing a talented Astros team. Crone 1 for 3. He'll start the offensive half of the ninth for the Tigers. Middle of the order due up for Detroit in this half inning. C.J. Crone, Jacoby Jones, and Jonathan Scope. Again, this is a save opportunity for Ozuna. This game still within 3 runs. At this moment, Justin Verlander is in line for the win. Jordan Zimmerman's in line for the loss. And Roberto Ozuna has the opportunity to save this game for the Astros. The Astros coming off 2 wins out of a 3-game series with the Rangers. Both these teams have been winning recently. Tigers in jeopardy of losing a 4-game winning streak. 2-1 pitch. Swinging a foul ball. The count even 2-2. High fly ball towards center. Springer tracking it. Springer under it. Springer makes the catch. That's out number 1. The 1 out bottom of the 9th, and here comes Jacoby Jones, who came in to replace Jorge Bonifacio after Bonifacio dove for a line drive. Bonifacio could not make the play, and when he got up, he was favoring his back. Got taken out of the game. Jacoby Jones came in to replace him, and Jones, in the 7th, in his first at-bat, got a double, and later came around to score after Austin Romine hit him home. That was the only run scored by the Tigers, and the only run charged to Justin Verlander. Verlander gave up 1 earned run, struck out 11 batters, threw 6+ innings on the mound. Jordan Zimmerman gave up 4 runs in total and was taken out in the 5th inning. Two ball, 1 strike count. That misses inside. Counts 3-1. That's foul. The count now 3-2 on Jones. And I correct myself, by the way. Jordan Zimmerman got taken out in the 6th inning. Michael Brantley hit his 2-run home run in the top of the 6th. So my apologies on that and an inning too early. But it's been Brantley and Junito the total offense for the Astros. And Jones reaches base for the 2nd time in this game. Got a single, and he just walked. And now here comes Jonathan Schoop. Schoop 0 for 3. He grounded out in his most recent at-bat. And that moves the potential tying run into the on-deck circle as the Tiger mascot getting these fans excited. Schoop, a former Baltimore Oriole, Milwaukee Brewer, and Minnesota Twin. He played for the Twins team last year that broke the single-season home run record for a team total amount of home runs. One ball, no strike count. That just misses. Counts 2-0.
2 balls, no strike.
It's been consistent tonight that the home plate umpire hasn't really given the low strike. That finds his own. Counts 2-1. There have been a few cases where the pitch has landed in our strike zone indicator there, but it has been a consistent call it has been a consistent non-call. The home plate umpire hasn't been giving that low pitch to any of the pitchers tonight. That's rocked toward left field. Back goes Brantley. He makes the catch. And Jones will retreat back to first base. There are now 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th. The Tigers have 1 out to work with.
Third baseman, Jamer.
That was well struck by Schoop, too. Pitch that was right over the heart of the plate, but Brantley able to run that one down. So Jones still on first. 2 outs. And here comes Jeimer Candelario. He's a switch hitter batting from the left side. He has no hits in 3 at-bats. And his last at-bat, he flew out. That was back in the 7th inning. Ozuna an out away from earning the save for the Astros in this game. Ozuna, a former Toronto Blue Jay. Fouls that pitch off. The count's 0-2. He was traded from the Blue Jays to the Astros in exchange for Ken Giles. That trade happened back in 2018. Swing and a miss. Roberto Ozuna has completed the save opportunity successfully. That last pitch 100 miles per hour, but Ozuna earns the save for the Astros, and there's Justin Verlander getting high fives for earning the win on the mound after getting the start in this game. So the Astros beat the Tigers. The Tigers have their 4-game winning streak snapped in Game 1 of this 4-game series. The Astros come out on top 4-1 the final. And they were thrusted forward by 2 two-run home runs, one from Junito and one from Brantley. Tigers got 1 run. Austin Romine hit home Jacoby Jones in the 7th inning, but that was all the Tigers could muster off Justin Verlander. The Astros scored all 4 of their runs off Jordan Zimmerman, the starting pitcher for the Tigers, who gave up the Mike Sunino 2-run home run in the 3rd. Zimmerman also gave up the 2-run home run to Michael Brantley in the 6th inning. Justin Verlander charged with 1 earned run. He walked 2 batters, gave up 3 hits. He struck out 11 through 6+ innings. He pitched into the 7th, but gave up a leadoff double to Jacoby Jones, which caused Dusty Baker to take him out of the game. But it was still a quality start for Verlander. Verlander earns the win in this one. Jordan Zimmerman got the loss, and Roberto Ozuna, despite walking a batter, pitched the full inning, struck out a batter, gave up no earned runs, and earned the save in this game. There wasn't too much offense to go around, just 2 big swings from the Astros. The Tigers were thwarted by Justin Verlander and the rest of the Astros bullpen. And they couldn't do much with that, and they ended up losing this game by 3. This has been a presentation of Major League Baseball's virtual network. This game and all of our games are brought to you by MLB The Show 20. My name's Nicholas Callis. Be sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel if you want to see more of these games and you want to be notified when we upload videos that have crucial information about this league. MLB Virtual Network is the name. You can also follow us on Twitter at VirtualMLB, where you'll get even more news about this league so you can stay in the know and pretend that baseball isn't infected with the coronavirus at all. Well, once again, I'm Nicholas Callis. This has been a production of Major League Baseball's Virtual Network, and once again, the final score of this game, the Astros beat the Tigers 4-1.